All right. Welcome into Studio Day Heffrey, everybody. This is me. We're going to have a two for today. We're going to have a 2-video day as I will be visiting with my guy, Jesse Holly, for Believe in Cowboys Jaguars recap. But I'm also not doing anything at the moment. And I asked people for Cowboy questions, and I got a bunch, and I was answering some on social media, and I decided to just pop online because why not? Hello to the first people here, Marcus and Q. This, of course, is brought to you by my friends at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag, promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, gets you 50% deposit bonus on that first deposit. And don't put it on the Cowboys. Pick a different sport. Bet on basketball, for crying out loud, but not the Mavericks either, because they're bipolar like the Cowboys. Either way, you got the app, you got betonline.ag, and you got a promo code BLEAV, BELIEVE. It'll give you 50% off. This one hurt Jeff. Please console me. Is Tyron the right tackle now? We need a fixin'. All sorts of things. This is not how I wanted to make the playoffs, but if it we in, Cowboy fans need therapy. I actually just left therapy. Ooh. Therapy can be tough, and it can be good. Thoughts on the Pro Bowl voting having a thing to do with Defensive Player of the Year case? I think Micah Parsons' Defensive Player of the Year is slipping away fast. Beware of Nick Bosa. I have to check stats, but maybe Myles Garrett, he's always deserving. Will this fan base ever appreciate Dak? No! I want to start with Micah Parsons today, okay? That's what I want to start with. He caught me a little off guard on the Von Miller podcast when Micah was talking about playing on the edge every play and how much harder it is. Although we should know that because you're wrestling 300-pounders every play as opposed to running sometimes. At linebacker, you don't always have to fight somebody every play. At defensive end, you do. They're going to run at you. They're going to beat you up. And he's a little edge. But he is just not seeming to be nearly as effective. And the thing that made the Cowboys defense good, maybe even elite, if you wanted to say they were a top 3 defense or whatever, because they were. What made them that was Micah. If he is not going to terrorize the other team, you're not going to have a great defense. And that is also compounded by the fact that 2 of your 3 starting corners are out for the year. The Leighton Vander Esch injury hurt him a lot. Anthony Barr struggled in that game. Formula is in the super chat. What a dog crap game. KJ is so bad, and D-Law was bad, and Micah was bad. Help us not jump off a cliff. Well, the hard part is you were hoping that with an offense that could rely on the run game and having one good receiver and just being efficient, you were hoping that you could have that and have a really good defense behind it, and that was going to be your formula to win a Super Bowl. But now this is going to shift back to, can your offense score enough points to outscore people, unless something can change with this defense pretty quick. I think Deron Bland is fine in the slot. He's made a bunch of plays. Your other corner spot's a struggle. Kelvin Joseph struggled. I'm not a big Nashawn Wright believer. It's going to be tough, but I wonder if they have to go back to something that I was all the way against when it comes to Micah Parsons, which is he might need to play some linebacker or just play less snaps. Because what you have to have is the guy that is the best player on the field. And Micah, for most of the season, has been the best player on the field. And I just haven't seen the same effectiveness the last couple of weeks. Couple that with what he said on Von Miller's podcast about how it's harder on your body to play on the edge. And he might have to play some linebacker. Not all linebacker, because pass rush is just more important than playing linebacker. You got to do it. I need you to do it. If you're good at it, we got to do it. But if we have to play less snaps and you got to play some linebacker, Fine. They were badly outcoached in the second half. They were just outplayed in the second half. Here's some fun things for you in the second half. In the second half, well, let's start with the Cowboys' first half. Remember their first half and how good they were on offense? They were so good that they scored 21 points and they had 235 yards. What a juggernaut. On the second half, the Cowboys defense allowed more than 100 yards, more than that, 339 in the half. And what were that? 21-7, and it was 34 at the end. So they allowed 27 points and 339 yards. Woo, boy. That is a problem. And we probably wouldn't worry about it as much if they were able to sneak out a win. If Noah catches the ball and they get 15 more yards, they kick a field goal. I just want to get that Micah thing out there. They may need to start playing him at linebacker some or scale his snaps back. Because if he's not the most dominant guy on the field and you're missing 2 of your 3 starting corners, that's a bad recipe. And that whole recipe was bad. Leighton Vander Esch has had a good year. Anthony Barr was missing tackles, couldn't move well enough to get to crossing routes. Anthony Barr was struggling. Do you think the Cowboys will meet my 49ers again in the playoffs? Well, they're going to Cowboys are very, very likely going to start with Tampa on the road. And I would like to think the Cowboys could beat Tampa because they're not good, but they did play them in week 1. And that didn't go so good. Tampa looks so bad. It looks so bad. Sam Williams, more snaps. That could be part of it. And hope that Leighton Vander Esch is okay because Vander Esch, they thought it was a neck injury, but they're saying it was a right shoulder nerve issue, which sounds scary to me, but they say week to week and nothing to do with the neck. But yeah, if Micah is not going to be a monster, and if Tank, I didn't even notice Tank yesterday. I haven't rewatched, but I don't think I noticed Tank not one time in that game, which is very rare. So is Cox that bad that they prefer Barr over him? Well, yes, 100%. Well, I don't know how that he's bad or not, but they absolutely prefer Barr. That's why Barr is playing and Jabril Cox is not. And I don't see him practice every day, so it's hard for me to say they're idiots. But I watched Jabril Cox in preseason and in camp. And he looked good. He looked good. He can run. He can cover. Defense was off in the second half. Offense was just as bad. They didn't finish the game strong, but the Cowboys' offense in the second half, problem is they couldn't run the ball. Second half, Dak was 8 of 12, 119 yards. That's 10 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, sacked once. They couldn't run the ball. Second half, 34 yards on 16 carries, 2 yards a pop. Yeesh. Yeesh. That's not good. Is there any other nuggets? I'll be on again here in a couple hours. Jesse Holly and I will go at 4 o'clock today. I just wanted to do something before because I wouldn't do anything else. I'll probably go play video games. What is the risk reward taking a 50-yard pass on third down when trying to milk the clock and have them burn timeouts? They screwed themselves on that one because when you're trying to run the clock out and make them use timeouts, the goal is hopefully to move the ball forward too and be able to get a first down. But as we just established, they couldn't run the ball in the second half to save their lives. So their 2 carries netted them 0 yards. I do want to go back and see because I didn't notice a short outlet on that play. I'd rather take a 3-yard loss on a pass play, dumping it out to the flats and having a guy get tackled than throwing incompletion. And I don't know that they had a short option on that route. That's weird. That's weird. 3rd and 3, run a fade to Gallup or to Lamb, not Gallup. Kevin King for corner. I think they're trying at corner, man. They've signed so many dudes. Mackenzie Alexander, the other guy that Dan Quinn knew before him, another guy they signed after Mackenzie Alexander. They're signing a bunch of dudes trying to find somebody. Cowboys can't run a screen or a smoke screen. They're the worst screen team in the NFL. They can't do it. I don't know why, but they can't. Can't run screens. It would have been cool if Dak did a draw play on that last third down or an option. On the last play, there were 3 receivers in the same area. I saw that picture, but that's on purpose. They got what they kind of wanted out of that play. I'll admit it's interesting that you're going to go to Noah Brown in that scenario, but I believe that they weren't wrong in the way they ran those routes. They're just having both of the guys from the left run overs, and they're having Noah Brown run under. They're just trying to set 100 picks, complete a 4-yard pass, and continue the drive. And the pass got there, and the pass went boom. And that's not good. That is not good. Do you think Kelvin Joseph can get better? Hope so. Problem is you don't have anything else. We're going to find out if somebody off the streets or that they claim off waivers can be better than guys you've had on your roster for years. So, yeah, the play worked. Just didn't catch it. The play worked. I just want to say hi. I'm going to go play Warzone for a bit, and I'll see you in a couple hours with Jesse Holly. Remember, you don't know what anybody